Hi guys, today we will going to learn one topic. Madam rides on the bus, third chapter. Her first journey. What carefully painstakings of the elaborate plans she had to make for it. She had triply saved whatever state acquaintance came her way. The prestings every temptations to busy appointments, toys, balloons, and the like. And the finally she had saved a total of the 60 paise. How difficult it had been, particularly that day at the village fair, but she had resolutely and steeply a strong desire to ride the merry-go-round, even though she had the money. On here, Valli make a plan to buy each and everything like the toys, balloons, and like the Finally, she had saved the total 60 paise. After she had enough money saved, her next problem was how to sleep out of house without her mother's knowledge. But she managed this without too much difficulty. Every day after lunch, her mother would nap from about 1 to 4 or so. Wally always used these hours for that excursions as she stood looking for the doorway of her house. She had enough money and now she make the plan how we come out from that the house without my mother's knowledge. Then she managed and she decided when mother's nap on that the time we will be go for exertions. Exertion means to trip to outings. Then that time she decided we should be go out after that the mother's nap. Then she stood looking for the doorways for her house, or sometimes even the ventured out into the village. Today, these same hours could be used for her first excursions outside the village. Now, this is the first excursions of her outside of the village. Venture out means here went continuously outside. The bus rolled on now, cutting across a bare landscape, now rushing through a tiny hamlet or an older wayside shop. Sometimes the bus seemed on the point of the globing up another vehicle that was coming towards them or a pedestrian crossing the road, but lo, somehow it passed on smoothly, leaving all obstacle safely behind. Trees came running towards them, but then stopped as the bus reached them and simply stood there, helpless for a moment by the side of the road before rushing away in the other direction. Now bus move and she enjoy more and more bare landscape rushing through the tiny hamlets. It's the tiny hamlets means a small village. That is a bus going towards of the tiny hamlet. The past and old waysides and she enjoying a lot of that the trees coming and going towards of that. Then pedestrian crossing the road, then someone passed to the smoothly leaving the obstacle safely behind, trees coming rushing towards of them. But she stopped it that the bus reached them and simply stood there helpless of the moment by the side of the road, rushing away and other the direction. Suddenly Valli clapped her hands with a glee. A young cow, tail high in the air, was running very fast, right in middle of the road, right in front of the bus. The bus slowed to crawl, and the bus driver sounded his horn loudly again and again. But the more he honked, the more frightened the animal became, and faster galloped, always right in front of the bus. Suddenly, Valli clapped her hands with a happily. Glee means happy. Young cows, there is a tail high in the ear and running very fast, right in the middle of the road, right in front of the bus. Bus slowed and crawls. The driver sound his horn loudly again and again. But the more he honked and more the frightened the animal became, and the faster it run faster. Galloped means run faster, always right in the front of that the bus. Somehow this was very funny to Ali. She laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. Hey lady, haven't you laughed enough? Called the conductor. Better save some for tomorrow. Valli very happy and she laughed more and more. Then at last tears come out from her eyes. Then the conductor shouted her, Hey enough, stop it, you are laughing. Then save for tomorrow's. At last, the cow moved off the road, and soon the bus came to railroad crossing. A speck of the train could be seen in the distance, growing bigger and bigger as it grew near. Then it rushed past the crossing gate with the tremendous roar and the rattle shaking the bus. Then the bus went on the past the train station. From there, it travelled a busy well, laid out a shopping street, and turning and entered a wider throughout fairs. Then such a big, bright-looking shop. Then what a glittered a display of clothes and other merchandise. Such a big crowd. At last, cow moved from that the road and came the rail bus is a came the railroads crossing. Then the speak of the train and could the scene a distance growing bigger and bigger. Drives is near. Then the rush is past and the crossing gate. Tremendous roars are there that the road is a very crowded. Then the travel busy and well the laid of the shopping street and there turning enter the wider and throughout the fair means busy public roads. Such a big bright looking shops are there, glittering a displays and the clothes a merchandise. Such a big crowd is there. Struck dumb, then with wonder, Wally gaped at everything. Then the bus stopped and everyone got off except Wally. Hey lady, said the conductor, aren't you ready to get up? This is as far as your 30 paise take you. No, Wally said, I am going back on this the same bus. She took another 30 paise for her packet and handed the coins to conductor. Why is something the matter? Now bus is stopped and conductor said to Wali, now stand up and go out from that bus. But Wali said, no, I don't want to go anywhere. The conductor replied, why is something the matter? Wali replied, no, nothing matter. I just felt like having a bus ride. That's all. That's don't you want to have a look at the sight now that you are here? All myself. Oh, I would be much too afraid. Greatly amused by the girl way of speaking, the conductor said, but you weren't afraid to come in the bus. I want to go back in the same bus. For that intention, you take the 30 paise once again. Only give that the 30 paise. Nothing to be afraid of about that, she answered. Well, then why not go to that small over there and have something to drink? Nothing to be afraid of about that either. Oh no, I couldn't that. Well, then let me bring you a cold drink. Here, conversation between Valli and conductor regarding that the afraid. Conductor give the challenge to Valli and Valli is not afraid and she said, I will be go there and bring a drink for you.